Hello everybody. It is I. uh, this isn't a normal video. This is an interesting video, to say the least. Now, if you live under a rock, or if you don't live under a rock, you would know that Five Nights at Freddy's has been in the news quite a lot recently. By that I mean on Twitter. Because the CEO, or the creator of the game, Scott Cawthon, announced that he was retiring. Now, if you don't know why he's retiring, he said on his website before he shut it down that he's retiring because he wants to spend more time with his family. That's not the entire story. The entire story is he made some decisions politically, and some people found out about it, and they doxed him and sent him death threats. Now, I don't think I need to say this. Doxing people and sending them death threats, those are federal crimes, and the doxing alone would get you about, what, a year? Minimum? 5 max? Death threats, 10 to 15. So, if you were wise, you would know to shut your fucking mouth when it comes to something like that. Don't do that. Now, those political choices he made, he explained them in detail on Reddit. Those choices he made because he felt that those people would be best suited to run the country. Initially, he voted, or was going to vote, for Tulsi Gabbard. That was the first person he supported because at the time she was pro-LGBTQ rights. And then once he noticed that she was taking a dive in the polls, and she pretty much said that she wasn't going to run anymore, he decided to go to his next issue, foreign policy, and he felt that Donald Trump would be better suited to run the country in terms of foreign policy alone. Anything else. Made that clear. Foreign policy. And you know, we need a strong, military so we can stand up to countries such as North Korea. Now, I also should have prefaced this earlier. I hate politics. I talk about them a lot, on my own time with friends and family and stuff. And I have to say this. I hate both sides of the spectrum. I hate Democrats. I hate Republicans. Specifically, I hate Biden, I hate Trump, I hate all of them. Reason being, I feel that they don't really care about the American people. What they care about is what's going into their pockets. Now, I know Trump said he wasn't going to take payment for being president. He probably did. There's probably no evidence of that. That's just a theory.
I'll knock him down.
But he's Trump, so people like Trump, they're narcissists, psychopaths. He's not looking for money, he's looking for control. He wants to be all big and bad, and he wants to be like, look at me, I'm more powerful than you, I have more money than you. He's one of those kinds of people. I know those kinds of people. I hate those kinds of people. Biden, I think Biden was like the country's last-ditch effort because people didn't like Trump anymore. Because of, well, yeah, he may be tough on foreign policy, but Trump is he's just a bad person all around. And that whole Jeffrey Epstein thing didn't help a bit, and his poor handling of COVID did not help him whatsoever. So that I think was the deciding factor for people just to vote for Biden. What? And you can debate that all you want. That's just how I feel people went. Now, do I think Biden is fit for office? No, I do not. I don't think he's fit at all. Honestly, there needs to be an age limit for in an evaluation for people to be able to run for president. I feel like the age limit should be 65. That should, if you are the age of 65, if you are the age of 65 or about to turn 65, do not run for president. Way too old. Retire. Stay in your homes. Out of your cars. Please. Because, yeah, I mean, you know, old people are wise. Yes, but a lot of old people are also pretty stupid. And simple-minded, you know, ignorant people who don't take other people's needs that they don't understand into consideration, such as gay people or bi or trans or whatever. They don't take that into consideration, and they're, you know, closed-minded people. That's the problem, you know. People are like, oh, well, Democrats aren't that. No, some Democrats are. And while they may not say that they're, and while they may say that they're, you know, not anti-LGBT, LGBT, I'm tired. Well, they may say that they're not LGBT. Fuck. While they may say that they're not that, they most likely are. They're just not going to say that because that would be political suicide. That'd be very dumb for them to say that. It's like companies not, during the entire month of June, not putting their profile picture on Twitter or Facebook rainbow. I swear I hate companies who do that. Ooh. And I hate people who fall for that even more, because they're morons. They don't care about you, and they definitely don't care if you're gay or not. They don't give a shit. It's just a PR thing. It's literally just them saying, "Oh, look at us. We support the LGBTQ community. You should buy our products." Or the CIA saying, "Oh, join us. We totally support it, even though back in the 50s and 60s, you know, we hated these people with a burning passion. We killed them, but we don't say anything about that." No, they did. Don't lie. But yeah, by the way, and the CIA already knows listening, and so you go fuck yourselves. But no, seriously, the companies who do that, please go fuck yourselves. I could care less what happens to you. Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Twitter, Activision. And if you couldn't tell, it was a sigh of hate. I hate Activision for many reasons. That's an entirely different video. In my opinion, I'm tired. In my opinion, Activision is probably the most laziest and they don't give a shit about you company I can ever think of, because in my hand here, I have Black Ops Cold War. This is probably the buggiest game I've ever played in my entire life. This game is buggier than a trailer home, and I should know. So, yeah, Activision, they don't care about their customers at all. They had a support number. I called it once for help with one of their games, and, you know, the guy on there, you know, he's helpful, and then recently, they got rid of it in favor of online support, which doesn't help at all. It's very vague. It doesn't help with certain things. You can't even email or do a live chat with a support person. It's just up to the community to help you with whatever you have a problem with, which most of the time the community can't help you because, say, a problem with your account. It's like, oh, we'll log into your account and then try and change this. Yeah, I can do that, but I can't change it because I'm having issues with my email. I can't change my email because I need to have access to the email I put in. My problem was when I tried to sign up for an Activision account to play Cold War, I had to do one of my emails that aren't supported by a lot of companies, and yeah, that didn't end well because I had to do .ch instead of .com, and then I thought it would redirect to there automatically. It didn't, so I can't get into my account and verify stuff and activate 2FA because I need to have access to my email, in which it was the wrong email. I can't change that or file a support request because there's no way to do that. So as I've said before, Activision doesn't care about you. Anytime they look at a customer, all they see is a $, which in my opinion is horrible PR. That's a way to get boycotted. Like, that is a very, very dumb business decision. I think Activision is the biggest example of companies do not care about their customers at all. They only care about your money. Now, Google takes a different approach with that, and for Microsoft, and they say they care about you, but they don't. They don't care about you at all because, while yes, they want your money, they also want all of your personal data and all that nice little package, little zip file, and they can sell off to the highest bidder, which sometimes it just so happens to be the United States government. I don't think I need to come back and say more on that, and anybody who defends these companies and their privacy practices is an idiot. Don't at me. So, or do at me, because I would love to discuss how stupid you are more. So, with that in mind, and because I go off on tangents, I apologize. I can't help myself. But with that in mind, going into the whole thing in Scott's business decisions, do I support or agree with some of the things or some of the people Scott supported? No, I do not. I do not support that at all. I think Scott, he just wanted to try to do his best, but he wanted to do his duty as an American citizen, because he loves his country, and he wants to make sure it stays running well and strong, and he tried to vote for the people he best thought could run this country, and run it well, but the problem with that is, specifically with American politics, is there's no gray area. It's black and white, or in this case, red and blue. You're either one or you're the other. There is no in between, which is the problem, and which also comes back to me saying, I think politicians are just scumbags in general. They're like companies. They don't care about you. They care about money. They could they could care less. They couldn't care less about what happens to you. They couldn't care less what happens to the country as long as they got money and an escape route to the nearest bunker. They could not care less. Now, some of them, yeah, they probably do care about the country. But the people, it's debatable. So I think it's hard to find a good politician who honestly cares about the country and the American people as a whole. And by as a whole, I mean whether you're white, black, Hispanic, gay, trans, or whatever. I think that would be very hard to find somebody like that. That would be extremely difficult. There probably is somebody out there who feels that way, and they're not running as a Democrat or a Republican. No, they're running as an independent party. The problem with that is independent parties, well, are independent. They don't have the backing nor money that the Democratic Party or the Republican Party have. So they get no support at all. So they have to rely on algorithms. They have to rely on support from the internet, which at the end of the day isn't enough. It's not enough because you gotta reach all ends of the spectrum, which is the news outlets. Because if the news outlets don't show you any kind of support, you're not gonna get jack fucking shit. So that's the crux of the problem here, which is, in my opinion, corruption. So trying to think of what else to say. I didn't write a script or anything. This is just me speaking from the heart. Do I hate Scott for what decisions he made? No. I think he was trying to do what he felt was best for the country. While it may not entirely have been a good decision, he maybe should have looked into them more. But did he deserve to get doxxed and death threats? Absolutely not. I can't stand people who do that. I think people who do that should be put behind bars for many years.
Bloody hell.
Like, that is wrong. That is wrong on so many levels. Now, being a GTA player, I've obviously experienced this before. God, I hate Rockstar as well. God, they're just a shitty company. Like Activision. They're actually worse than Rockstar, in my opinion. But Rockstar doxes their community. Because Red Dead Online and GTA Online both use peer-to-peer connections. Meaning, your Xbox, your IP address is connected to someone else's Xbox and IP, and so on, which makes it very easy for stupid little script kiddies to go in and get your IP address, so you have to use a VPN to protect yourself, because if you don't, you're screwed. Just as a note, if you want a good VPN, I recommend TunnelBear, Proton VPN, or ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is good for console players. TunnelBear, Proton VPN would be the latter. They're not good with console, but they are good for computers and phones. Specifically, if you're good with OpenVPN, that would be a good decision. So, if you're mainly a PC and phone player, I would recommend TunnelBear and Proton VPN. If you are all of those, including including console, I would recommend ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is more expensive, but for good reason. Always do checks on what VPN service you're going to purchase from, so you know that they, A, care about your privacy, and B, are giving you the price for what you're trying to get. So always do research. That goes for anything, regardless if you're trying to get a VPN or not. Use Tor. But regardless of what you're trying to do to protect yourself online or whatever, this is not a sponsorship, by the way. I'm just saying this. Always do your research, which is, in my opinion, what Scott's mistake was. He didn't do research, and also the people who went after him didn't do their research, because if they did, they would have saw on Reddit and read the whole post. Scott does care about the LGBTQ community. He does care. He cares about his entire fan base, the entire fan base that he created. He cares about all of his fans of the franchise. He cares about them deeply. He donated, what was it? I think it was $50K to the Trevor Project. Now, I mean, that wouldn't necessarily knock out the 42K he donated to those politicians, but because one's the Trevor Project and one's politicians who get final say-so. So, my point being, I mean, you have every right to boycott Scott if you want to do that, or the Freddy, or the Finance Friends community. You have every right to do that. That's your right as a human. But at the same time, you can't. I mean, there's no really true way you can, because, if you want to boycott Scott and be like, oh, he's a bad person about doing this, blah, 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 well, cool, but you still want to be a part of the FNAF community, you would still be giving money to Scott in some way, shape, or form, because all the companies he gave access to run the franchise with, and he's still going to be in the background, being the puppet master, so to speak, because still his game, still his company, still his community. And all the spin-off games that spun from Five Nights at Freddy's, because you know, he still holds copyright on the game. The game is still under his name in terms of copyright. So anybody who uses the game, he gets royalties from. If anybody makes a spin-off of the game, he still gets royalties from the game, if they made it free or not, which some did, some didn't, I think. I don't know. Bottom line, copyright is where he gets probably most of his revenue. So you can't make one choice without making another. That's impossible. So my point here is that I'm going to pass out. I'm very tired. This caffeine is not helping at all. Now, I suppose I feel comfortable talking about this now. Now, I was planning on doing this last month. I'm getting nervous trying to say this, but I was going to talk about this last month, but then I thought about it more, and I'm like, it just feels like clout chasing. Because, I don't want it. In my opinion, humans are humans. People are people.
Looks like a component from a
Everybody's the same. Like, no matter who you are, what you feel, what you think, if you cut everybody with a knife, they are all going to bleed the same thing. Blood red. If you get a DNA sample from everybody in the world, all 7.8 billion people, all their DNA is going to converge at some point in time. My bottom line, we're all human. So,
but how to do that?
That's the point I'm trying to make. Please, so I think it's stupid that there has to be a whole month dedicated to one group of people. Group to Asian Americans, or group to gay or trans people, or whatever, or African American people, or whatever. I think that's stupid that we have to have that. Now, looking at all the stuff they did, okay, that's good. That's what schools are for. That's why we have history class, to look at what happened in the past and make sure that history doesn't repeat itself in a negative way. So, but we also need to make sure that that stays fresh in people's minds. So in a way, I guess it does make sense, but at the same time, People are people. Respect others, no matter what their beliefs are, no matter how they feel politically or gender-wise or whatever. It's just be nice to people. Don't carry around that negative karma. Don't do some shit. Treat others how you want to be treated. Please. Like, if you went up to some random, I don't know, black guy on the street and said, hey, fuck you, and then beat him with a lead pipe, would you want that to happen to you? Would you want some random guy coming to you up on the street saying, hey, fuck you, and then beating you over the head with a lead pipe? No. Would you want some random guy shooting you in the fucking chest? No. Would you want to be robbed just for, or committed a hate crime against? No. No one wants that. No one wants to be a victim of that.
Well, it's something.
So please, for the love of God, be nice to people. And don't fall for stupid things like what companies do. Don't give in to cancel culture or anything. I also have to point out, on that Reddit post Scott put, Scott said he's tired of just cancel culture and fucking people always looking for an apology. He pretty much said, fuck you, I'm not doing that. You're not getting sympathy. You're not getting an apology from me because I tried to do what I felt was best for my country. He pretty much said, you can go fuck yourself. Which, initially, that's what Five Nights at Freddy's was. He didn't think it drove to be what it did. No, he initially made the game as a fuck you to everybody who said his games in the past were shitty and looked scary. So, Five Nights at Freddy's initially was a big fuck you to everybody who criticized him. He was just trying to make games for his kids, and his kids enjoyed them, but the public did not. So, Scott's like, alright, I got you. It was a big fuck you. Horror game. Based on my own characters. Suck it. Scott, I think, is genius in some of the things he does. He's clever. Right? He's a great guy. Which, I'm gonna bring up something from a FNAF YouTuber, Dawko. Dawko said at one point in time, you know, he was feeling down and very, suicidal. So, he decided to text or call Scott. And Scott, you know, gave him advice, was there as a shoulder to lean on. Scott is a down-to-earth guy who I don't think would ever want to hurt anybody in any way. He just felt he was doing what was right for his country. My country. That's what I feel that he was trying to do. Now, it's like I'm conscious trying to get away from what I was trying to say earlier, but 'cause I know there's gonna be people in comments asking, well, what do you mean by that? What were you gonna talk about? Well, that's a great question. You can find out next week on Dragon Ball Z. No, sorry. Serious. So, I guess I felt like I had to respond to this in some capacity because if you follow my Twitter, I doubt you do though. If you follow my Twitter, you would know my Twitter that I have linked to my my about page on this channel. Subscribe, by the way. I'm sorry, that was a shameless plug. Okay, that was cringy. I hate myself for saying that. But the reason I feel like is my responsibility to talk about this is because I myself am trans. I've been trying to be more open about it, and like every time I try to like sit down and like do this like audio recording or whatever, I would like shut down and immediately go back to watching YouTube, or what I'm watching right now, which is Chicago PD. I love this show, but I would always just put it out of my head and go back to what I was doing because I was nervous, and at the same time, I also felt I don't want to. Because I came out on my Instagram before June because I don't want it to be a big deal. I feel like it shouldn't be that much. I don't know. It's just me because.
But why? An attempt to restore brain functionality? Perhaps an effort to create a more docile, obedient creature?
I don't think it to be a big deal. While I am still nervous about it because I live in the South and I have trust issues in general with people, I'm trying to be a bit more open because I started off, telling, like friends I deeply trust, like my friend Heavenly, who does not watch my videos, so it's by himself. My friend Robbie, who I don't know watches my videos. Or my friend Cameron, who I know does not watch my videos. Or some of my other friends online, like my friend Ivan. I'm not saying the other one. He's an ass. Or Bapkins, who I know watches my videos after I told him about my channel. So, which I will commend Bapkins because he does try to correctly identify me how I would prefer to be identified, which is she, her. I would prefer that if you don't mind. Now, if you have a problem with that, you can go fuck yourself. I'm gonna be blunt, direct, as much as I can be, because I don't care. And if any of you have the balls to try to dox me or send me death threats over anything I've said in this recording so far, I fucking dare you. I live in the South. We have guns. I fucking dare you to try. I will shoot you. Or I will stab you with the knife I'm currently holding in my hand. I have every right to defend myself. You come here to my house or you threaten me online over something I've said in this video, I will take legal action to the fullest extent I can possible. And if you try to come here to do something stupid, I will kill you. I have that right to defend myself and my property. I have that right. So don't even try. Just wanted to say that, just in case someone tried to do something stupid, try to find out what my real name is, what I look like, and granted, if you've been a subscriber to me for a long time, you probably already know what I look like. That's cool. I already know my name or where I live. Cool. Act on any of that. I will hurt you. Try to hurt anyone I care about. I will kill you. That's not a threat, that's a promise. I'm sorry. Now that might sound bad, but I love my friends and family. And I will do whatever I can to make sure that they are safe and happy. I don't care who you are. No one has a hand on the people I care about. Period. Now, and someone in the past has doxed me, and if they are watching this, they know who they are. I will say this to that one person. What you did, going out and finding my name over an argument we had on Xbox, what you did after, you know, finding my name and posting it in a Discord chat, that is considered doxing. That's a federal crime. And what I said to you was a misdemeanor. Which one do you think the cops would care about more? I'd say the federal crime. I highly doubt they'll care about a misdemeanor. So, you know, if you're feeling jumpy, just saying. So, anyway, aside from all that, bottom line, please leave Scott alone. Don't hate on the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise or anything like that, or do. That's your prerogative. But don't send Scott hate over some decisions he made. I don't hate Scott. I'm just, I guess, disappointed in some of the things he did. Or decisions. Though I understand them. He did what he felt was right for his country. Which is what any American or any, I don't know, patriot for their country would do, I guess. Legally, you know, legally, I have to say that, legally. I can't emphasize that enough. Because there's, bad apples out there. Anyway, so I'm gonna end this. This video is getting way too long. This is getting way too long. I have to, you know how much editing I have to do now? Because I have to, like, because this is an audio recording, so I have to, like, put this over, I'm not gonna do, like, this over Overwatch content, because it's super fucking hard. I might do this over, like, zombies gameplay or something, I don't know. But, like, or Minecraft, which would be a bit more calming. But, I don't know, I'll figure something out. It just might be my beautiful voice. Look. Please be nice to everyone. Please be the best you can be. Don't go down a horrible road of which you can't come back from. Don't treat others like shit for no reason or petty things such as politics. And if you do that, I feel like you should probably just stay off of everything. Just don't talk to people. Just shut your fucking mouth. Because I assure you, you will lead a sad and lonely life. I think I've said enough. If you somehow enjoyed my almost 40-minute rant, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you fuckers in the next video. Goodbye.